Today I'm going to be revealing my final wildcard draft. I've carried out a lot of research to pick this team. I'm going to share with you the tools that I use that will help you with your teams as well. This includes the captaincy matrix, fixture difficulty ratings separated by attack and defence, and the points projections from FPL Review. Let's kick things off with captaincy. So the first thing that I do when I'm building a team is build a captaincy matrix for the first 6 game weeks. I isolate each game week and analyse the numbers just like I do in my best captain videos. I take a look at the points projections from several websites, odds, underlying stats, etc. The matrix on the screen goes right up until the World Cup. That's all I can discuss when I plan on transferring the premiums. I like to pick 2 premiums for captaincy rotation. It gives me flexibility and allows me to invest funds in the rest of my squad. I'm not a fan of going for 3 premiums. The 2 players that you don't captain each game week are expected to get low points per million. Okay, so discussing the captaincy matrix, I do prefer De Bruyne over Kane without captaincy. He offers a direct transfer to Salah when I want him back. The main thing is I can captain Kane against Everton at home in game week 11. That's when City play against Liverpool. City also blank in game week 12. I'd have to offload De Bruyne, Haaland. Then I've also got another City player and 2 Arsenal players that you'll see later on in the team. There's not much between Kane and Haaland for game week 8. I've got Kane on top because of the fixture, but I will be publishing a best captain video on Friday. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already so you don't miss it. I will want Haaland captain in game week 9 and 10, then after game week 11 Haaland blanks, and I want Salah captain, so that'll be a double transfer moving Haaland onto Salah. Salah's likely to be my captain for the next 3 game weeks. Kane stays in the team because he's got the extra fixture over Haaland. He could play 270 minutes, but Haaland can't play over 180, and let's face it, he's probably not going to play all of them anyway. In game week 15, I would make a direct transfer. I'd shift Kane onto Haaland so I can captain him against Fulham at home. In summary, Kane and Haaland are the first 2 players in my team. Moving on to the goalkeeper position, I believe Pope is the best option, but I had to prioritise the outfield positions, so we had 4.7 mil left for a goalkeeper. There is less volatility of points in the goalkeeper position. There's not a single outfield player that I'd want to downgrade, so I'm hoping to make up the 0.6 million difference there. I'm going for 2 goalkeepers that rotate very well. It's Leno and Ward. I know what you're thinking, but keep an open mind, look forwards and not backwards. The odds imply that they probably will keep a few clean sheets. That's because the fixtures are so favourable. The points per million metric is very important in the goalkeeper position. I've applied 90 expected minutes to all the first team goalkeepers in the league, and as you can see, these 2 come out on top. Even if Ward is dropped for Everson, Leno is fine on his own. Moving on to the defence, I've got the points projections for the next 3 game weeks. That's how long I plan to own Cancelo, before shifting him on to Trent in game week 11, ahead of City's blank in game week 12. I wanted to get the defender that's projected to get the most points. That's because he's reliable and I can play him every game week. Reece James doesn't rank high in the points projections. That's because he gets none in game week 8 for his blank. If he did, he'd be right up there with Cancelo. If you look at the fixtures, I believe Trippier's worth bringing in. I've gone for 3 attacking defenders because they've got 3 channels to points, goals, assists and clean sheets. I'm rolling with a 3 at the back formation because attackers have a higher ceiling. For backup, I've gone for Patterson and Nico Williams. If you look at the points projections for around the 4 million price point, these are the best 2 options. I think Emerson's got a bigger upside if he plays, but he's got less than half expected minutes than the other 2 players, and I prefer to have that insurance on the bench. Being honest, I do prefer Fofana and Soufal at 4.4 mil, but they are unaffordable for me. Moving on to the midfield, I've got price rises tied up on Martinelli, and I still think he'll provide good value for money. I don't mind benching him for the odd game week, especially when he plays in a blank. Then his fixtures for game week 11, 13 and 14 are very favourable. Next to him is his teammate Saka. I don't want to go benching 8 mil, so I'm keeping him for 2 game weeks. I was going to sell him, but his form picked up recently, and as you can see by the points projections on the screen, these are for the next 2 game weeks. Midfielders under 8.5 mil, he comes out on top. Another thing to consider is the fact that he's probably still on penalty duties. If you compare with Palace's fixtures from game week 10 onwards, it looks like Zaha's worth bringing in. He's probably on penalties as well. So basically Saka's a placeholder whilst Zaha blanked and plays Chelsea. West Ham and Leicester have favourable fixtures, so Bowen and Maddison are coming in. I'm benching Maddison in game week 8 against Spurs away, and that'll save me making the free transfer in game week 9. Looking at the points projections of midfielders under 8.5 mil, Bowen comes out on top, Maddison's joint second, and you could put in a good case to keep Saka, but an extra 0.6 mil will help me in upgrading to Liverpool players. For the last midfielder slot, it's Bailey versus Pereira. Judging by the fixture difficulty ratings, they're in the top 2, but Villa come out on top. Bailey will probably play 4 of the next 5 fixtures for me. Although he featured in both of his last 2 matches for 90 minutes, and he scored in his last one, his expected minutes are still a risk, but for me, if he plays the full match, he's got a high ceiling. To complete the forward line, and in fact the whole team, it's Mitrovic. Fulham's got decent fixtures until game week 14, he's on penalty duties, and it's really difficult to ignore his form. I did consider Isak for this price point, but he's not quite as reliable. Thanks for watching. If you found the video informative, I would appreciate you hitting that like button. Also, I've got a best captain video coming out on Friday. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already so you don't miss any of these videos.